Hey, it's Tuesday. No, it's Friday. Hey, it's Friday. I'm back. I've been spending this week thinking about a quote by Fyodor Dostoevsky talking about how every minute could have been an age of happiness. He was about to be executed and then got unexecuted, or they didn't kill him. And he wrote a letter to his brother basically talking about how happy he was that he wasn't going to die. That's not what I'm experiencing right now, but with a lot of the different things in my life, watch the video from Tuesday, I talk about some of them. With a lot of the things in my life that I'm going through right now, I'm sitting in more moments of interpreting things that do objectively feel not so great. I'm just letting things sit on me more than perhaps I need to, because even in the bad or the annoying or the sticky or gross, I got a new baby, there's a lot of joy. And I could focus a little bit more on that joy if I just think about it. Not all problems can be solved that way, and maybe not even most, but there is a certain class of thing that you experience in your life that if you just have a better attitude about it, it's gonna be the same amount of disruption, but you're gonna experience it in a much better way. So I've been sitting with this question of how many of my minutes could have been an age of happiness if I just kind of let it be. I wrote some of these down. Big obvious one, a baby keeps spitting up. I'm pretty clean. I have a bit of a compulsive showering that's born out of military college where it's hot and sweaty, didn't have air conditioning, and then the army. When I'm sweaty or dirty, I feel like I'm on duty. I don't know if you can relate to that. And so having a baby means that all of your stuff, all of your clothes is just sticky, kind of gross, probably smells a little bit like throw up. Unfortunately, baby hasn't gotten to the gross other bodily functions really at this point, but it's coming. And we got a new baby formula right now, and I just don't enjoy the smell. Smells really bother me. I filmed the Tuesday video, I immediately get spit up on. I go and then I take a second. I try to interpret the moment as, how could this be an age of happiness too? Every time baby spits up, he feels better. He's smiling. He's happy. He thinks it's funny that I react in the way that I react. And so if I stop focusing on the me part of the interaction and I just look at what is happening around me and to baby, I feel much better about the moment, even though I'm still gross and it smells ick and But that was a nice early W in this experiment. A couple others. I was trying to get some stuff done, and my cat keeps going between my legs. She's very athletic, but she tries to shoot the gap between my legs when I'm going between rooms. And so if I'm not paying attention, I end up I could kick her on accident and it wouldn't be my fault at all, but she's a cat. What are you going to do? And so I got frustrated, but I tried to listen to the thing that I said I was going to listen to and reflect on this happiness minutes. And of course, that was almost a huge spill. And of course, why is the cat getting in between my legs? Because she wants to play. And so I listen to that signal. I take 5 minutes and we get some really nice moments together where she gets to get some of that energy out. I get a little break from work, get a serotonin boost. If something happened later that day to either of us and I could never play with my cat again, I would be very grateful that I took the time out of my workday to do that. So the misery monster is foiled again by age of happiness thinking. The last one's a little bit heavier. Without going into too much detail, we've been kind of anxious about our living situation. We're renting currently. We were hoping we could buy this place. We probably can't now. And housing situation stuff sucks because a lot of it, it just is either in your control or it's not. And in our case, it's kind of not. And we're in a little bit of lease limbo too. And so it just sucks. So sitting with the circumstances that have been weighing on me for months, I wanted to figure out a way to turn that minute of anxiety, which kind of actually turns into more minutes of anxiety that I keep recurring, into something I would settle for an age of neutralness. I don't even need the happiest part with this one. And what I landed on is I did think the circumstances would resolve themselves, but in this case, it probably won't. And so where I can sit is in being grateful that if we do have to move, perhaps sooner than we want to, we can. And we get the opportunity to find another place to try and turn into a home. That's really a luxury a lot of people don't necessarily have, or at least they don't have with the same amount of freedom of maneuver that I have. It's not an age of happiness resolution, but it isn't. It is much closer to the age of neutral than I thought going forward. If I'm being honest, I hate just be happy bro advice. I really do. I think it minimizes depression, which is real and I've experienced in various stretches of my life. But there is something to this attitude of look at the specifics of what's happening to you right now and see if there's some nugget of joy in there. This was a thing that I did in the Army, just kind of unconsciously, because you had to in order to survive. Otherwise, you'd just be so depressed that it's like raining and cold and you're shivering. When I became a civilian, I think I lost a little bit of that mental resilience just because stuff was way better. And so you didn't need to practice this muscle of, okay, things can be tough. How do you find a path forward mentally that you're not just surviving, but you're thriving in a tough environment? I continue to be shocked and kind of annoyed at how useful legitimately reflecting on a thing that you're experiencing it over a couple of days is in terms of improving my mood and improving the quality of my thoughts around a topic. I shouldn't be frustrated about it. I would like to be instantly smart and right and brilliant, but turns out that's not really how anything ever works. But another successful week of reflecting in the books. I'll be back on Tuesday with another question. Have a good weekend.